Hi, I forgot to film an intro for this video and I want to upload it on my work Wi-Fi tonight, so you get this as an intro. Today, if you saw my video last week about making my junk journal, today we're going to do a full flip through of it. And if you didn't see it, we're still going to do a full flip through of it today, and now you get to see it. And then if you want to know how it's made, you can go back and watch the other video. The end. Or, well, the beginning. Alrighty, let's just start at the very beginning. This is my wonderfully witchy cottagecore, I guess, junk journal. I don't know, I really didn't have like a particular theme in mind as I built it. I just picked my favorite things that I thought went together to build it, and then as I've worked in it, I've also kind of added some things that maybe don't necessarily go with this like overall theme, but I still like them in here. I love this journal so much. I have a video up that I posted last week of how I built it. So if you want to see that, that's linked in the description. But I'm just going to go through this page by page and show you what's in here. So this is just a little burlap ribbon that came off a gift that I use to tie it closed when I am storing it or traveling with it. Which it's not like super portable, but you know, we do what we have to. And then it's covered in like an old tea towel and some calico that I had for another project that never got done. This is a gusseted envelope that I made out of scrapbook paper and stationery paper that I painted with the Dilution spray dye and Distress oxide inks. It's shut with this like enamel button pin that I got off a Kickstarter years ago. And this is just some hand lettering that I did last night. And then this is a greeting card from like a coloring book. It's a coloring book, but all of the pages are like cards and envelopes. And I thought it was just the coolest thing. And I've added some writing. And I've written inside. This is my tarot reading for the winter, spring, summer, fall this year. And I got the Empress for winter. And we've got... This is like a coloring book page for my unicorn coloring book. Got a tea bag with an important note. Some very nice handmade paper here. Writing about my words of the year. This one is just some cardstock with some of that same scrapbook paper dyed with the Dilutions. And some washi tape to make a pocket. I've got some things in here that I can journal on. I can journal on here as well. We've got some stickers, and I've just tucked a little feather in. And then there's the back of the cardstock. We've got a book page here. I think this is from the Book of Fine Prints, which I found at the thrift shop for $1. Has a ton of beautiful prints in it, but it also has some cool writing about the art in it. And a lot of these things I've stapled on. I have fallen really in love with my good glues, but I've also fallen really in love with the fact that staplers do not have a drying time. This is like some roll off from my brayer when I was making gel prints on some old sketchbook paper. This is a coloring page that I've started some hand lettering on. It's my centerfold of this first signature. Is this the first signature? Yep. Okay, there's 4 signatures. This is a little pocket that I've made out of a junk mail envelope, or a security envelope. And then we've got a little Luna Lovegood tucked in there. I really wanted, I think this is about Hokusai. And it just had this line about numerous bird and flower prints that I really didn't want to cover up. Like, I really wanted to use this page for a pocket, but I really didn't want to cover up the line about birds and flowers. So this is how I did it. And then a lot of these like cutouts, these are like a Tim Holtz thing with butterflies and flowers. I love it so much. A lot of these are from there. I love the way they look like sticking off the edge of the page. I was painting today, guys. Gel printing, really. But they have the white backs, so often I would do one like back to back, and then it's just one staple holding them both on there. This is a chunky page. This is a cardstock. I'm already pulling things out of it. This is a cardstock page that I stamped, and then with some oxide inks, and then I've made a little, this is a little butterfly that I used for making like flower crowns and stuff, but I pulled off the wire that's attached to it, and I hot glued on this gold paper clip with just a little bit of washi tape on the other side just to like secure the glue and really hold it all in place. And I love those as little bookmarks in here. And then I've just got some little treasures tucked in here. These are some photos that came out of a frame I got at a thrift shop. It had 4 of them. One of them is framed in my bathroom, and the other 3 are living in here for now, but I reserve the right to put them on my wall at some point. And then I've got a couple different kinds of Post-its tucked in here so that I can write on them, whether that's like journaling that I leave in here, or if I have this with me and I want to write a little note to somebody, I can grab one out of there. Something else to journal on. I had a lot of these that came out of like packs of scrapbook paper that are usually pretty expensive, but sometimes Michael has them on sale for like $5 or $6, and that's when I get them. And some of them had like full pages of things like this that I just spent some time cutting out yesterday and sticking in here. And then, so yeah, there's the pocket, that's the doily. This is half of a big doily wrapped around. And then there's this little cardstock scrap that's also wrapped around. That's this bottom second pocket. And then the other thing that's in here is I made these 2 little notepads. They are like the backs of a sketch pad, or they're actually what's left over from making the covers is what they are. So it's chipboard. I had a 12 by 12 piece. I cut my covers 6 by 9, and I had these leftover 3 by 6 pieces. So I cut some 2.5 by 5.5, should have done 5 3/4 pieces of a sketchbook that only had a couple pieces of paper left in it that I just wasn't going to use as a sketchbook. And then I like gel printed some of whatever brown cardstock this is that was like left over from something else, just to make it look nicer. And then there's little gold binder clips, and I love to have this sort of thing. Just so like I feel like if you want to play, there's a lot of games that we like to play. There's a card game called Golf and the dice game Farkle, and both of those kinds of things, and also some other games. It's just nice to have little notepads to be able to keep score, or to be able to play, or just to be able to make lists or take notes on the go that you don't necessarily want to like keep in your journal forever, but you need a place to write something down. And so I wanted to have 2 of those in here. So I made 2, but it's really way too chonky if I stick them in both the same sides. So I just do one there and one here, and we're good. And then I've got I have so many little like notepads and sticky notes and things that I just tucked like a few of each of my favorites in here so that I'd have more little places to write. And a lot of my favorite stickers I've just tucked in as well so that I can look at them and they can be included, but I don't have to like commit to sticking them down here forever. This was one of the Tim Holtz things. This was another little scrap I cut out of scrapbook paper. And then this is a photo of me and my husband on Christmas that I think is really cute. This I just did I spent some time the other day cleaning up my desk. And I had all these scraps of paper that I was saving because I was like, that's big enough to stamp something on or to use or whatever. And instead of throwing them away or instead of putting them in a pile to be used later, I went ahead and stamped on them right then. And then I started like assembling some of them together. So this is just a fun little piece of a book page with a quote about friendship. And this is some tracing paper, some oxide ink, and some vellum with a little sun stamped on there with the brown stays on. I'm loving the brown stays on. I'm wanting to work with a lot more brown this year. So in the past where I would have used black to stamp, you'll be seeing me use brown, and I'm trying to find more browns to replace the blacks in my work. But you know, an occasional black is okay. This is from a unicorn coloring book. This is the back of that same greeting card. Okay, wow. Okay, that was the whole, was that only the first signature? Okay. Grab a cup of tea, guys. We've just got a scrap of scrapbook paper that I really loved the fairy and wanted her to show, and I thought she made a nice little cover for the second signature. This is one of those scraps that I was stamping instead of throwing away. Handmade paper, some more handmade paper, cheap sketchbook paper. Love that little sticker though. I love all my little stickers. I've been hoarding stickers. One of my goals this year is to like use up all of the, not like all of them, but like use up a ton of my favorite supplies and ephemera that I've been saving. Like things that I'm like, oh, this is too special to use for just anything. I gotta save this for a special project. I want to make the special projects. I want to use the stuff up. I want to reduce the amount of space that my supplies that haven't been used in 10 years are taking up. And then if I use them, then I'm allowed to fill the space back up with more things and then use them again. Yeah, coloring page. This is another junk mail envelope. I went ahead and like brayered the inside of it though, because I don't like the way the outside, it was like printed with something on the outside of the envelope. So I don't know. I like it now though. And I might like watercolor or like color this with like color pencil or marker or something later. I think that could be fun to do. I love having coloring pages in here because like I can write on them. Like there's lots of space here to write, but also I can color this if that's all I want to do. And I can also like stick stuff over these words, or I can read these words and find inspiration there. I do try to pay attention to like what words are showing. And then I really like this because you can kind of see this whole sheet, even though it's not the centerfold. And so we've got the star and the moon, and some actually lyrics from my own songs about the star and the moon. Some more Post-its. This one is like glued down because they weren't super sticky, but I really love these. These are from Tea Thoughts. And yeah, I wanted to have some little Kung Fu Cha stickers or Post-its here, and I can journal on those or whatever. And then this centerfold coloring page. A lot of these coloring pages are tea stained, by the way, which I'm not going to do on future projects because I don't want to compromise the paper with the tea. But I am working with walnut ink and also with some distress inks just to see what I like better. I'm really liking the walnut ink, but I also really like the distress ink, but they do different things. But then they'll last longer and they'll do better over time. But I really love getting to play with the centerfold and making the centerfold do fun things, because I feel like there's just more room to play when you can be finicky about how you're sewing just that one piece in. This isn't actually attached in yet, but it's tucked in very nicely. This is just a birthday card that my dad just sent me and my stepmom for my 30th birthday. And then I've made another little security envelope on the back, and I had some notes about what we did on my 30th birthday. I haven't tucked anything in here yet though. Coloring page, top of the unicorn with some pretty butterflies. Sketchbook paper with some stamped moon phases on it. I really like doing things on the borders where a paper is bigger than the paper in front of it and you can see just the border. I like working on that and taking advantage of that, is what I meant to say. And then the back, the other side of this piece of paper was like longer, and so I folded it around as a little pocket, and it's holding this photo of me and my husband at the end of our wedding party. And it's, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's on this really cool, like silvery photo paper. Anyhow, And that's got like the date and everything on it. So that's tucked in there. And then that's the second signature. So this is the third signature. This was just like a regular sheet of cardstock. At first, I actually did like it, but I just really wanted to add. I kind of got nervous that I was adding so much stuff into the journal that I wouldn't have enough writing space to actually write things that I was basically just gonna like fill up the journal with like pretty things stapled in. And so I wanted to make sure I had more writing space, or at least more space to make art in, even if I just end up making more art instead of journaling or writing. That's fine. Art counts. Art more than counts. But I wanted to create more space, so I created this accordion page. This is a little piece of ribbon off of the same gift, actually, that the burlap ribbon came off of. They were together, and I liked them so much together, and I liked them so much with this whole journal that I put it on here. And then I cut like little 6x9 pieces of scrapbook paper. And the same thin cardboard that I used for my spine, it's like, imagine it's glued down onto the middle of this page, and then it extends out to about here. And then that cardboard, you can kind of see it here, is folded into the accordion. And then I've just got the double-sided pages glued to either side of it. Oh, I've got one sheet glued here. I didn't glue anything here because this is the original cardstock. And then the washi tape is glued down because I don't trust washi tape. And we've got the scrapbook paper here matched with this piece here. Washi tape glued down again, scrapbook paper here matched with this piece here. And I just really love the way that all folds up. Then on this innermost one, I made a little belly band. This isn't actually attached to the page. It just wraps all the way around. And then I glued this piece to it to make some notes on. And it's got just like a little scrap paper behind also. So the glue's kind of sandwiched in between two pieces of paper because it's lace and I really didn't want it to stick to this page. And then all I've got tucked in here is a blank thank you note in case I ever have this with me and need to write a thank you note on the fly. And then I've got 3 blank rose postcards that I can journal on or write notes to people on, either way. And those can be replaced. And then this one originally went outside, was the front of the signature. And I do like it there, but I also like it tucked in here. So that's kind of how I've been keeping it. And I do like it there. I love these rose papers so much. And then obviously I can work here and here. And I can work here. And here's the other side of the belly band. And I've got another thank you note. But I really like the way this one looks on the page. So I think I'm going to use this one to do like gratitude journaling actually instead of getting rid of it. But there's that. I've got one of my oil coven stickers. It says Facite Magiam Cottagecore. Just make magic every day in Latin. Got some runes. Another oil coven potions club sticker. Those were so fun. Scrapbook paper, again from one of those $5 packs at Michael's. Washi tape, always glued down. Never trust washi tape. Coloring page, this was one of my scraps. This is a scrap of tracing paper that I trimmed down. That I didn't want to throw away, so I stamped the word magic on it, and it's just stapled down. And I will write in these little spaces, you know. Sometimes I just want to make one little note, or sometimes I just want to write down a quote, or sometimes I just want to hand letter a word that's popping out to me at the moment. These are some rose petals that I found in this envelope when I got this envelope out. I don't know where I saved these from. They are big rose petals, so they might actually be from, I think these might actually be from my childhood home in LA. I think these might be from the rose bush that grew up my bedroom wall. So I had this bedroom, it was like a 3-story house, but you entered on the 2nd story, was the ground level. But it was kind of like you went downstairs to get to the front door because it was built into a hill. And then my bedroom was on the 2nd floor, or was on the 3rd floor, but it was on street level. So my bedroom window looked out onto the front yard garden, and there was a rose vine, a Joseph's coat rose, growing up that wall. And sometimes in the summer, when the weather was really nice, I would get in trouble if my parents noticed me doing this, because air conditioning, and totally valid, and also just because like safety and security. But I would totally leave the window open for like weeks at a time, and the rose would start to grow in the window, and it was just the most magical thing. And I think these are petals from that rose. And so I glued these down to cover the text on this page that I wasn't particularly interested in. I've got some mushroom postcard that I can write on the back of. Also, these are some watercolor leaves I made in fodder school that I can journal on the back of. And then this is a photo. This page is a photo that we had gotten. You know me and my gallery walls, so I get lots of frames from thrift shops, and lots of them have art and photos and stuff already in them that we take out. And a lot of that stuff gets repurposed in this sort of thing, or in my crafting or collage or vision boards or whatever. So this was a photo that came out of a frame that I almost didn't want to take out of the frame, but the frame was really perfect for something else that I really wanted to put up. And I was like, I'll find another use for this. So I'm glad that I put it in here. This excites me to have it in here. I just like the vibe of it. We've got another Oil Coven Potions Club rune sticker here. But then on the back of the photo, I gessoed here. And then this is a stamped Distress Oxide ink. And then this is another one of those scraps that I got made while cleaning up my desk the other day. I love having these. I save all my fortune cookie fortunes. And back the last time I was staying with my dad, we had like a bag of fortune cookies. We had 2 bags of fortune cookies as a family that stay. And I saved all the fortunes that I could, and that was a lot. And so I've got a lot of them tucked in here that I like. More Oil Coven Potions Club stickers. I love this map washi tape. This is not really a proper pocket because this paper is not really strong enough to do this. I've just got it clipped in here for now, and these tuck in very easily, but they're really just barely there, and this will have to change eventually. I just think it's so pretty. I'll probably collage this down somewhere eventually, but this is what we've got right now. And this again was from one of those $5 packs of scrapbook paper I've cut down. I love these so much. I'm excited to use those. And again, these are stickers that like I can't commit to sticking that down right now. It's too beautiful. I can't pick a permanent home for it, but I can clip it in here. I love that. This is another page from the Book of Fine Prints with some things clipped to it. Someone is looking up to you. Don't let that person down. And the Empress. It's more of that handmade paper. This is, okay, so I put in this piece of this old pillowcase. If you watched the other video, it was not this color when you saw it. I did not like looking at how yellowed it was. So I've been experimenting with walnut ink, and I went ahead and painted this with the walnut ink, and that's how it is brown. And I quite like it. I'm quite happy with it. Also, I love the look of it. I love the texture of it, but it was really driving me crazy how it was flopping around so much. So I've gone ahead and stapled things to attached things to the back of both sides. So on this side, I've attached this greeting card from Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has the cutest greeting cards, and they're 99 cents each. So I hoard Trader Joe's greeting cards. I'm not ashamed to say that. And I've used several of them in this journal, I believe. In fact, yeah, the 30th birthday one that my dad sent me was a Trader Joe's one. And I just love this one because, well, someday you'll know why. Time to get together. I just think that's so freaking cute. Okay. And then this is a little piece that I cut from like Young Living packaging from the Northern Lights Black Spruce from the Northern Lights farm. And I just think it's really beautiful, and I thought it made a really beautiful background for this sticker. And then this is a coloring page that's the centerfold of this around the 3rd signature. I think so, yes. And then I went and did the background with walnut ink during Moon Circle the other night. Oh, that was so much fun. We had Oil Coven Moon Circle, and I was just like working on my journal the whole time, and it was so fantastic. Yeah, I love this. This makes me so happy. These are the new color too. And then, yeah, this is another Trader Joe's card glued onto the back of the coloring page. I had like started to color it, and then I really didn't like what I had done on the coloring page. So I was like, I want to cover this up and give myself more writing space. So this is how I'm doing it. I love this one. And this is just, when there's a good, cheap greeting card, I can't help buying it, even if I just want to keep it for myself. And I love that in a junk journal, I can do that. And actually, I have so many more like junk journal memory book type things that I need to make, because I've saved, like on so many of my world travels, I would get postcards and then like write journal on the postcards, thinking that eventually I would bind them into a book. So I have all these things that I've saved from my travels to bind into books that I just need to actually bind. So yeah, this page can be worked on somehow. Not sure how, but it can be. And then I went ahead and glued this envelope to it. The lace is glued to, it's glued to the flap, and then the butterfly is just stapled on. These are some stickers from like a planner sticker set. This was, I prayered on some burnt umber onto here, and I actually don't love the way that it looks. So we're just gonna have to work over that and do other things. I'm not mad at it, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Book of Fine Prints. Oxide ink stamped there. More oxide inks. This is some jelly printed tissue paper, just collaged on here with matte medium. One of those Tim Holtz pieces. Oh, this is so fun. Okay, so this is the other side of the photo. And then this is this infinite flipper thing I made. I'll try to remember. If I don't, comment, and I'll link it I'll reply to you in the comments, and I'll add it to the description. But there's like an origami tutorial that I found from some wonderful channel on YouTube about how to make these. And it's a 4-sided infinitely flipping card. So I did the 4 agreements on this one. So it's be impeccable with your word. And I picked runes to go with each agreement. So be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best. And then it just flips right back to the beginning. And I just think that's the coolest thing. And I've actually found this to be very like meditative to flip it, and actually really helping me like think more about these 4 agreements, which I already think about a lot anyway, but I love this as a tool, and I just think it's such a cool piece of paper craft. This is more of that gel printed tissue paper, but I've added some oxide inks to the raised bits. Where that there's yellow oxide inks around the edges as well, and then one of those Tim Holtz pieces. This is another junk mail envelope with it had a nice big window, but I backed it with some scrapbook paper on the inside because I thought it was prettier than the other piece of the envelope. And then these are some pieces or like the tags from Throat Coat tea bags that have really nice quotes on them, and a little lace tab here. The bottom half of this flower fairy with some distress oxide inks, some burlap, and then this is, my husband found a pair of my earrings in the filter of the washing dryer thing, the washer dryer. And the other one, the stone was broken, but this one was still fine. But they're all like super like, not rusted, but like oxidized and distressed. And I was like, well, their life as earrings is done, but I still really like it. It's moonstone. So I just tied it onto the safety pin with some of the thread that was scrap from binding. I told you I was going to use those scraps that I cut off. I said, I have a little extra. I'll cut it off. I'll use it for something else later. This is the something else later. Another Oil Cup and Potions Club sticker. Some oxide stamping over this is probably Delusion sprays. And then this is a fake flower. These are some of my favorite fake flowers. They have a garland of this flower that I love that's actually up in the bedroom right now. But sometimes the flowers fall off of it, and I don't put them back on. I just use them for other things. So I took the plastic pieces out and then attached a leaf. I don't know if that's a leaf from the same garland or not. It might be from something else. And then just took a pin that I really loved but wasn't wearing because my Starbucks manager won't let me wear more than 2 non-Starbucks pins at work anymore, which is totally the policy, but is very sad. So a lot of the pins that used to get a lot of wear are just sitting in a drawer, and it makes me very sad. So I put one of them in my journal. This is one from Tea Thoughts. It's a beautiful little going food teapot with some peaches on it. And then I think this page was like super stained from these Dilutions inks. And so I glued this piece of, I don't know if it's handmade paper or printed paper. I don't know. Somebody sent me this piece of paper a long time ago. And yeah, I thought it was really cool. I wanted to put it here. So it's glued down, and then I just put the washi tape over the edge to hide the edge where the two are glued together. I really like these paper clips, so I just have a ton of them in here, even when they're not holding things. And there's the end of that signature. Okay, we've got another one of the greeting cards from the coloring book. More of those things cut out from the scrapbook paper. More fortune cookie fortunes, some vellum. Another coloring page that I've stamped over with the oxide distress inks with the suns. The back of the coloring page, I started to color this one. And these are some stamps that I have to, are they here? Yeah, I have to show you these. Orally from Shroomware made these stamps and sent them to me years ago, and they're maybe like my most precious crafting possession. They carved them by hand, and it's just, they used them on like a letter that they sent me, and then sent me the stamps as well, and I was just completely blown away, and I have not made myself enough opportunities to use them, but I was so excited to have an opportunity to use them in this journal. I think they look really beautiful both over here. This is the timber brown, stays on, and over here, and this is colored in with I don't know, some sort of, was it this one? I don't know, some sort of marker. Butterflies stapled on. Okay, this one has some fun pockets on it. So this one has 2 layers of pockets just on this side. It's got this vellum pocket, and then it's got the scrapbook paper pocket with the glitter edge. Really love that glitter edge. That glitter looked like pastel rainbow in the tube, and then it comes off like red and green on the glue. So it looks very Christmassy on here, but I think there's enough pink around it that it's fine. This just came in like a set of random stickers from Amazon, so I really love it. I'm in Texas, if you don't know. One of those Tim Holtz pieces, scrapbook paper cut out, a bunch of fortune cookie fortunes, some oracle cards from Let Your Shine, Oracle, Self-Care Shine. I don't know. Let Your Soul Shine. I don't know. Nice oracle cards. And one of them is actually about journaling. Write down your goals, dream big, and journal it out. Write how you feel. Keep your thoughts positive. Align your intentions with your actions. Those all felt appropriate to tuck in here. And I've already broken this deck up for my basket case. So, and then this is another one of the scrapbook pieces that I can journal on. And then this coloring page I'd actually colored on back when I was a kiddo. I'll just tuck those in there. And this was also, a bunch of these tarot cards were stickers from like random Amazon packs. I've got a mushroom postcard, washi tape always glued down, and double-sided. So there's more journaling space on this coloring page. And then this, I love the look of this, and I've done this a couple times, and I'm going to do it a couple more times because I love the look of this, which is like a vellum see-through or tracing paper envelope. This is like a light pink vellum though, over a piece of sheet music. This is another one of those scrapbook pieces that I can journal on. But yeah, I love being able to see the sheet music through the vellum envelope. I just think that's the coolest thing. And then that's stamped on, and that's from scrapbook paper. I've got another one of those butterfly paper clips that I made. So this is some tissue paper from some gift wrap that I've decoupaged on here. This was from Central Market Honey, I think. But it's just a nice gold foil sticker with a bee on it, so I liked it, so it's on there. This is the last, very end of some lace, like self-adhesive tape that I got on clearance at Michael's for like $1. We ran out of it, and I was like, one, so proud that I'd used it up, but I was also like, that's so great, I want more. And I looked for it on like Amazon, and they want like $7 a roll, and I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think we're doing that. I think we're just gonna use regular lace. Okay, and then this is really fun. So this is bound in as an actual page, and I do kind of show this in the video, but for the binding, I went down here and then through here, and then when I had to go up to here, I just went through this corner of the envelope first before I went down here so that it can close. And then I've got this hidden butterfly tucked in here. And then this one, because I didn't, on the top one, I didn't want the white to show on either side. There's a butterfly on each side. And I really like them both. I have no idea what I'm going to put in here or do in here or what. I just know that I love it and it makes me happy. And that's all that I need to know. So, cardstock, lots of journaling space, another one of those scrapbook cutouts, plenty of journaling space on the back of this envelope. Pretty sure this is the envelope that went with the card at the beginning. Wow, we've come so far. These stickers were from maybe like my favorite Kickstarter ever. I don't know. I've backed some really good Kickstarters. The tea card. Try deviating from routine this weekend, says the fortune cookie fortune. Some more of that tissue paper collaged on there. Coloring page. Scrapbook pieces. Handmade. Coloring page. And then this one, okay, so the page that's actually sewn into the signature here is this vellum page. And I just decided that I really wanted, I had cut this piece out for my accordion page, and then I realized that I didn't actually need a 6th sheet because I was just going to use this page that was already here. So I had the 6th sheet cut out, and I really wanted to use it in here, and I really liked the way that it looked facing this half of the unicorn. So I just stapled all around this edge and all around this edge, and then this ribbon is stapled on as well. So there's a ribbon tab, it's open here and it's open on the top, so it's like a little envelope. And you can see through it on this side because it's all vellum. I went washi tape over the vellum edge, so it's got an easier, it's easier to like stick things through than just a single sheet of paper. It's got that little thicker lip. And then I've stuck some of those Tim Holtz butterflies and a couple Shakespeare poems in there that you can read through the vellum, and they're kind of protected in there, and I really like that. I love Shakespeare sonnets, so I will enjoy just getting to like spend some time rereading these. This is the back of that last greeting card, some more oxide stamping. This one's not colored yet, so I can journal on here and I can color, lots of fun. This butterfly is just hot glued in. The sleeves are just hot glued in. These are probably PVA'd in, I'm not sure. These are not very practical because this envelope is really, really stiff. And then this envelope is obviously really long. So this one, it's because it's stiff, it can't hold very much. And then because it's covering most of this one can't hold very much either. But I do have a couple of things tucked in. I've got this very cool, the Tea Tarot inspired sticker, holographic. The Hermit and Temperance, which were 2 cards that I really wanted to stick in here, but I just haven't found what's the right place yet. I kind of want to stick them next to some journaling where it makes sense. And then I just wanted to stick something in here because I feel like if there's a pocket, I just want something in the pocket so that I remember that it's a pocket. Plus I like that the tassel looks hanging out of it. And I just didn't need the bookmark in here right now. And I made this bookmark the other day. It was just stuck in here because I'd made it. This is from, I finally got myself a nice chain for my Empress tarot pendant because I was wearing it every day and the chain was turning my neck green. So I finally got a nice chain for it, and it came with this, which I thought would make a nice bookmark. So I punched that extra hole. This is some of the bookbinding waxed linen thread that I just twisted into a rope. And then I glued this stamped cardstock on either side of it. I did get the mirror image of the tassel so that I could do it on both sides by stamping. So this one is just the stays on the cardstock. That's the crisper one. And then this one that's just ever so slightly blurry is the stays on stamped onto my gel plate and then lifted onto the cardstock from the gel plate right away. And that was an experiment that I was really hoping would work, and I think it turned out really beautifully, and I'm going to use that for so many things. The power to be able to get reverse images of my stamp images is feels like a lot of power in my hands right now. And that's pretty much it. This is the back cover, but you've seen the front cover, and they're really not much different. It is not really wanting to stay very closed right now. This is as closed as it stays on its own, which is about, yeah, I mean, it's even when it's upright and it doesn't have gravity keeping it open, it's wanting to stay very open. That's really pretty. Oh, maybe I should just like display it like this. Makes me very happy. I love it. I love it. Have you made a junk journal? If you have, please drop your channel in the comments. I am obsessed with watching, if you have a video of it, I'm obsessed with watching junk journal videos and art journal videos right now. I'm getting so much inspiration from so many people, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So if I haven't discovered your channel yet, I will very much enjoy discovering it. And if I have discovered your channel yet, I will totally geek out when you comment. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you're interested in seeing more things like this from me. Yeah, also I've been thinking about doing more like artsy, crafty, witchy crafts, witchcrafting videos, that are, you know, I mean, I feel like everything I do is going to turn out witchy because I'm witchy. And that tends to be how it goes. It's like, I don't have to do a thing that's like strictly witchy. It's just going to end up witchy because I'm me. But more crafts on this channel I've been wanting to do. And I've just be interested to know, I think what's going to be easiest for me is to film kind of like I did with the bookbinding video for this journal, to film like a really sped up footage of making the thing and then talk over it. But I would just be curious whether you guys would be more interested in me talking over it about what I'm making and what I'm doing to get the effects that I'm getting, or if you'd be more interested in just kind of watching the thing and hearing music, or if you'd be more interested in just kind of watching the thing and hearing me talk about something totally unrelated, or maybe something like philosophical that might be related to like a journal spread or whatever, but only tangentially. So let me know which of those is most interesting to you. Those are all appealing to me, and I think about all three of those, so they're all on the table as possibilities. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please do hit that subscribe button and that little bell down below so that you can be notified when I do release my next video. And I will see you around. Don't forget to make your magic.